What's up guys? Today we're going to be making Captain America's shield out of cardboard. I definitely should have made the one from Infinity War after I made this one, but we move. This video is going to be a bit different from my other ones. This is just going to be, a pretty simple tutorial, so feel free to follow along if you want. Templates are in the description, so check those out. Anyways, let's head into it. So first thing we're going to do is just grab that template and then we can assemble it by joining the arrows together. Then we just grab our cardboard and then we copy the template on 20 times. Make sure you line up the template so that the corrugation looks like this and not like this. Now we can just cut it out with some scissors or an X-Acto knife. I mean, whatever you have available, and make sure to take the proper safety precautions when doing this. Let's try and speed this up. Then, after everything's cut out, I just bent all the pieces with the corrugation against the edge of my table. Now, after bending all the pieces, I just taped them all together in a circle with some duct tape. Now it's time to paper mache. I use 1 part water to 1 part flour. And this usually gives me the best result. You can just experiment with it to see which one works best for you. Then I use cut up pieces of construction paper for the paper mache. You can also use newspaper if you want. I just had construction paper on hand. Honestly, any type of paper that's more thick and fibrous works best. Use as much of the mixture as you have, just because the more soaked the paper is, the better it'll morph to the surface. Yeah, so I let that dry for around 3 days, and then after those 3 days were over, I just slapped a coat of white paint on it to prep it for the rest of the paint. Now we just have to draw those circles onto the shield. So I made this piece of paper as a guide to use as a marker compass kind of. I then made holes at these measurements to match the measurements of the shield. Keep in mind that these measurements should work for you if you printed out the template of the correct size. So the shield's diameter should be around 13.75 inches if you want to also use these same measurements for the guide. Then to draw the lines, I held the template in the middle of the shield with a screwdriver and I used the Sharpie to mark those circles. In order to mark the star, mark the inner circle every 72 degrees with a protractor, and then just draw a star using those points with a ruler. Now it is time to paint. I taped up the outer edges of the star to get those nice fresh lines later on, and then I also just used silver, blue, and red paints for the rest of the shield. I just used an online image of the shield just to get those colors correct. I would suggest being as careful as possible when painting close to the lines, just because cleaning up misses later on isn't too fun. Then, after all the paint was dry, I just slapped a coat of Mod Podge onto the shield just to seal it in, and to be honest, any sort of lacquer will work for this, just as long as all the paint is sealed in and won't tear off or anything. Now we can just work on those handles. I had some aluminum tubes left over, but any sort of rod or pipe will work for this. I cut one piece 4 inches long, and then I cut 4 pieces 2 inches long, so that I could glue them all together into a prism-like shape that I could grip onto with my fist. Then after all the glue was dry, I just put electrical tape on it just to grip it better. And then to wrap it all up, I made a strap out of cardboard and Velcro just to grip onto my forearm, and then I glued those 2 pieces onto the shield and then secured it in place with hot glue. And with that, the shield is finished. Anyways, thanks a lot for watching, guys. I got another video coming out very soon, so be on the lookout for that. It's pretty cool. And anyways, see you next time.